and good day. This video will briefly explain about the Evaluated Officer or PYD for the Unified Evaluation for Education Service Officer or Pbppp. At the end of this video, you will be able to understand who an evaluated officer is, group categories, criteria, the responsibilities, and the implementation phases for the evaluated officer. Who an evaluated officer is? The evaluated officer is an education service officer who has been appointed by the Education Service Commission or SPP. Evaluated officer group categories. The evaluated officers are divided into 5 group categories. The Teaching and Learning category (PDP) comprises of education service officers who are involved in teaching and learning in schools and educational institutions under the education sector of the Ministry of Education Malaysia or MOE, such as teachers and lecturers. The Management as well as the Teaching and Learning category or PTA comprises of education service officers at management level in schools and educational institutions under the education sector of the Ministry of Education Malaysia who are involved in management as well as teaching and learning. They are leaders in schools and institutions such as the Aminuddin Baki Institute (IAB), Institutes of Teacher Education (IPG), English Language Teaching Centre (ELTC), and Matriculation Colleges (KM). The Management and Administration category or PTB consists of Education Service Officer at the management level under the Ministry of Education Malaysia (MOE) who are involved only in the management and administration. This group will include officers of the Ministry of Education (MOE), State Education Departments (JPN), District Education Officers (PPD), and educational institutions. The Facilitator category includes Education Service Officer who works full-time in coaching and mentoring. For example, a Guidance and Counseling Teacher, GBK, Organizations Counselor, C Partners Plus, SISC Plus, Facilinus, and Special Education Officers 3PK. The Coach category comprises of Education Service Officer who coaches full-time as sports coach or arts instructor. The criteria for the evaluated officer are as follows. The evaluated officer is currently in public service appointed by SPP. The evaluated officer has been in service for more than 6 months in the current review year. The evaluated officer currently following a disciplinary process must undergo evaluation until a sentence has been imposed by the convening disciplinary board. The evaluator officer who is ineligible for evaluation during the current review year are an evaluated officer who is on an unpaid leave for more than 6 months, an evaluated officer who has been on a medical leave for longer than 180 days, an evaluated officer who is on a full-time study leave does not have to undergo evaluation but will be evaluated by the related institution. The responsibilities of the evaluated officer are as follows. Cooperate with the evaluator on the Pbppp. Be prepared to be evaluated by 2 evaluators and keep the evaluation form given by Evaluator 1 and Evaluator 2. Pbppp Implementation Phase. During the Pbppp implementation phase, flexibility is given to the organization to carry out the evaluation continuously during the review year, where the Ministry of Education Malaysia (MOE) will set the dates for the evaluation period. Submission date of the final scores will be set by the Ministry of Education, Malaysia (MOE). Evaluation will be done at least twice a year. Implementation procedure. Pre-implementation phase. During the pre-implementation phase, the evaluated officer will be called for a discussion on the upcoming evaluation. Each evaluated officer must be prepared to be evaluated by 2 evaluators. The evaluated officer will also be evaluated on his work progress for at least twice a year. During the evaluation, the evaluated officer should be aware of the following. During the evaluation, evaluated officer should take necessary actions and revise work strategies to increase performance. The evaluated officer should also understand that the first evaluation will be utilized as a basis for the final evaluation at the end of the review year. During the implementation phase. During the evaluation, there are 4 aspects that the evaluated officer should be aware of. The evaluation is done with the belief that the evaluated officer is an important asset whose potential can and should be developed over time. The evaluation is done continuously throughout the year based on competency, performance, and achievement of the evaluated officer in the review year. The evaluation is free from biasness and favoritism. And the evaluation is done in a calm and timely manner. Phase 2 during the implementation. During the second phase of the evaluation, the evaluated officer will periodically discuss work progress with the evaluator or at least twice a year. The evaluated officer must keep a copy of the evaluation form as proof of evaluation done. The evaluated officer should be aware of the evaluation process and take necessary actions such as revising work strategies to increase performance. Post-implementation phase. During the review year, evaluation-related issues should be discussed and decided by the organization's Pbppp committee based on guidelines using discretion and professional judgment. We have come to the end of the video on the Pbppp Evaluated Officer. For further details, you may refer to the manual which can be downloaded from the e-Prestasi module in Sistem Maklumat Guru (SMG). Thank you and have a good day.